What's up YouTube? Today we are looking at Minimal Audio's Rift 2.0. So there's a couple of exciting features in the brand new plugin. Today I want to run through some of those features with you guys. So I believe this is a free update for those who have an existing copy of Rift 1.0. So it should also be said that I'm not being paid for this video or anything, that I did actually purchase Rift 1.0 back when it was released. Without further ado, let's dive in and have a look at Rift 2.0. So some of these features may have existed in 1.0 and maybe I just missed them, but I'm going to run through some of my favorite features in 2.0. So, I mean, if I do get them wrong, I do apologize now, but just that being said, bear with me. They've added Quantizer to the filter mode. So if you set this to tune, you can actually quantize it to specific pitches and stuff, which I think is really cool. Both of these quantizers, they've actually added scales so that you can actually choose, for example, like G sharp Phrygian or whatever the scale of the track that you're working in. I think this particular track I'm working in is like A sharp Phrygian or something. So anyway, you can quantize the filters as well now. So that makes it so that you can actually generate melodies using the filter. You know, you just turn the resonance up, it kind of like creates its own tone, quantize it, create melodies. It's pretty interesting stuff that we're going to dive into. So anyway, they've also added this audio rate modulation setting over here. So what this does is it just adds audio rate amplitude modulation at the frequency of the cutoff to the output of the filter. So that just adds this kind of like extra harmonic kind of like, let me see if I can do it for you guys quickly. So that's pretty cool for like this extra kind of gritty sound, you know, on top of the actual distortion engine that you have within the plugin itself. So let's go ahead here and actually choose A sharp Phrygian and let's randomize the filter. So there, I'm just hitting one note on the keyboard, and that kind of slight melody that you're hearing is the resonant characteristic of the filter that's been quantized to specific notes. So that's really, really interesting. I love that. That kind of changes the sound that I had there already, though, a little bit too much. So I'm going to try just set it back to what I had before. Okay, so what I want to do now is just put a blank instance of Vital up on here, and we can put Rift on that, and we can have a look at some of the features just on a basic sound. So one of the most obvious things, I mean, you'll probably notice when opening up the plugin for the first time is the interface revamp. So it looks kind of like Vital now. I kind of like that. Very clean. Still as easy to use. They've added this randomize parameter, which I think is really, really cool. This just kind of just randomly gives you crazy variations. I think that's very cool for creating wavetables, you know, to just randomly create it, bounce it out, load it up, and you've got these kind of variations. Or you could just change the shapes, or, you know, add filtering and stuff like that. Oh, that's really nice. Gritty. So they've also added a multi-band mode. So I think this is more of a single band mode because let's just jump into the advanced settings so I can show you exactly what's happening here. If we jump in here and we turn on multi-band mode, what happens is it kind of splits these bands and applies the effects onto the middle band. But it allows you to kind of stretch the band up all the way to the top or all the way to the bottom. So you can, for example, apply the distortion to just the low end, just the high end, just the mid-range, etc., etc. So you can get pretty creative with it, but I don't think it's proper multi-band because you can't actually do the distortion in the other bands. But that being said, is you can always, you know, duplicate the plugin, have one version just affecting the lows, one version just affecting the highs, and that kind of thing. So you can do it that way. So here, for example, we could have just a clean bass coming through with just the mid-range being distorted. So here we've got solo. That means we're just going to hear the affected band. And then refilter. I believe what that does is it actually applies the same multi-band filters to the output as well as the input. So it just makes it a little bit more cleaner. So say, for example, you've got like stuff added on top of the side bands that you don't want. It filters that out. Do you hear how there's extra low end being added as a result of the distortion and stuff like that? So the refilter will then remove that extra stuff that's being added. Yeah, oh, this thing is awesome. I love it. So you can choose which of the effects is being affected by this multiband setting over here. So say, for example, we just want the distortion to be affected by the multiband, then we would set this setting over here like this. Awesome. That is about it for today. I think I covered everything, although it does feel like I may be missing something, so I might just put some text on the screen. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Let me know what you think in the comments, and as usual, if you like this video, hit that like button and consider subscribing to my channel. See you guys next time. Cheers.